This is the second video about crafting, and I'm going to go over the basics of crafting. What you need to understand about items in PoE, generally they have an enchant, but it's the hardest to replace, and most items don't have an enchant. They can have an implicit. Most of the time you cannot change the implicit. Sometimes you can, but most of the time the implicit is set in stone. Usually when crafting, what you are going to change most of the time is going to be the prefixes and suffixes. What are prefixes and suffixes? These are modifiers. Like if you look at this pair of gloves, when you hold down Alt, it will say prefix modifier athletes, life, maximum life, um, +2 to level of socketed AoE gems is another prefix. All these modifiers are classified. Excuse me. All these modifiers are classified as prefixes and suffixes, and the rarity of an item will determine how many prefixes or suffixes it has. Uh, Items that are unique for most of the time cannot be crafted. There are some special items that can be, but most unique items cannot be crafted. In PoE, when we are talking about crafting, we are talking about items that are rare. Uh, an item can be white or normal, I mean white text or normal. It can be blue, the text can be blue or magic rarity, or it can be yellow or rare item. If the item is blue like this, it can only have a prefix and a suffix. So only two modifiers. But if the item is yellow like this, it can have up to 3 prefixes and up to 3 suffixes. This includes the crafted modifiers. For example, if this item is white and I go to the crafting bench and I try to craft something on it, let's just say that I'm crafting life. Because I crafted life, now the item it's blue because it has at least one prefix or one suffix. Um, Another thing you need to understand about crafting in PoE, it's going to be the item level. If I go to this item and just move the cursor over it, it says require level 32. But if you press and hold Alt, it says item level 70. The reason why item level is important is because some modifiers can only appear after a certain item level. Let's go to Path of Exile, this site right here, Path of Exile. It's very important because it will show you pretty much the requirements for a certain mod to appear. If we go to jewelry and we go to belts, right here we can type the item level that we desire. In our case, it's going to be item level 70, but we are not going to type anything here because I want to explain something. These are all modifiers that can appear on your belt. However, this modifier right here, increased elemental damage with attacks, can only appear if the item level is 4 for the lowest tier. For the best tier, the item level of the item needs to be 86. For the armor, it can appear from an item level 1, and for the highest tier, the item level needs to be 86. For life, life can appear from item level 1, and for the highest tier of life, the item level needs to be 64. These are all the prefixes and suffixes that can appear on an item, usually. What you see right here is if the item is influenced, but that is for another video. But generally, these are the modifiers that can appear on an item, and the minimum requirement, you go to this modifier right here. For example, we want chaos. we can see that for an item to have chaos resistance, it needs at least item level 16. And if you want 31 to 35 chaos resistance, it needs item level 81 or higher to hit this modifier. That was for part 2.